Good evening, guys. Come with me tonight and we're going to make our soap. Stick around to the end and see how it looks at the end. Now, when making our soap, the first thing I always do is mix the lye with the water, because it'll actually heat up and you want it to kind of cool back down. So it's always good to have some rubber gloves to protect your hands, because the lye is caustic. So we use just a regular food scale. Put a container on it. Always zero it out. Make sure your scale's on the right thing. And then measure your lye out. Now I'm making a pretty big batch of soap. As you'll see in the end, it's about a 25-inch mold. Once I get that measured, I'm going to set it to the side here. Put my container for water, zero it out. Because of the heating element that comes with the lye and the water, I like putting ice cubes in it, and that's considered part of my water. 7. This part with these two ingredients here really has to be very closely monitored on weight. And once I've got my water and my lye weighed out, I'll come up underneath the hood vent here to mix it all up. And when I do this, I do small amounts. Kind of just evenly put it in. Kind of keep your head back. You don't want to be sticking your head straight over the top of that and smelling those fumes. I'm going to take a little time here and stir this up. You can actually feel the heat in my hand where it's stirring right above that. You can feel the heat coming out of there. I'm pretty sure you got that all mixed in there. So there's several things that you can put in soap that adds benefits for different reasons, and one of the things that we like using is oatmeal. And I just take a coffee grinder and grind it up small, almost like a powder, and then I'll add that in when I'm mixing everything together. The main ingredients in soap is some kind of fat and your lye, and that's chemical reaction that causes it to turn into soap. The different smells, the different additives you use to it for making different soaps, this all add on top. You can just take an oil, a fat, and your lye, and water, and you can make soap. The first thing I'm going to do is measure out coconut oil. Now I'll have to measure my weight, and then I have to warm it up and get it to where it's back into a liquid state to mix, because I'm actually going to use coconut oil, canola, and olive. Let's get to putting in the oil. Here's a fact about the coconut oil. The coconut oil can be very soothing to your skin, but when it's in the soap, it's actually what is one of the better oils for cleansing, making the suds and everything. Since this is a solid, I'll have to melt it down and get it into liquid form. Now for the second oil, which I'll be using canola oil. Now the coconut oil, we use a organic. The canola oil, we just use what we can get a hold of. So there's my canola oil. And third and the last will be olive oil. And you notice every time that I put the container on there, I'm tearing my scale out to 0 so I know where I'm starting at from exact 0. Now starts the fun part. We mix everything together. Let me go over real quick what I've done, just kind of a refresher. We've got our oils weighed out. We've got our water and lye weighed out. And it is particular that you use a soap calculator to figure everything out for what you want, the oils and everything, and use those measurements and follow them very closely. You are mixing stuff together, and if it's a little bit off, it will either not set or it'll be so hard that it won't do any cleaning. So it took me a while to come up with this one, but my wife likes it, we like it. Eventually what we would like to do is have sell soap on the side, and still working on getting it to where we really feel it's a good product for people to start using. So this part here is going to be a little noisy at times because we use an immersion blender to blend all this stuff together. I'm going to blend the oils first, and then after I've got the oils where I want them to be blended, I'll go over and I'll get my lye water and I will start blending and slowly add it. So here we go. Now's the part I'm going to start putting my lye water in. You're going to see me add it in slowly, and then when it gets down, I'm going to keep blending it because you got to get it to where it's kind of fully mixed up and you can tell it's starting to stiffen up. Now that I've done this for just a little while, I'm going to go ahead and mix my powder in so it gets fully mixed. And since it's winter time, I think I'm just going to put a small amount of cinnamon in here. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. There's a nice easy trick to clean your mixer blender. Get it right out of there. Put it in water. You'll still have to clean some soap off the outside, but that takes a lot of it right off for you. Here's my big mold that I talked about I made. We just take and line it with plastic. So then all you do is just start pouring it in there. And try to get as many of the wrinkles as you can out, and then the weight will kind of spread out on it. Get all that in there. And then I'm going to take the cup of oatmeal, kind of evenly spread it, and try to work it straight down where it'll just be incorporated in there. Now as this thickens up, you can come back later and fluff the top up and put different designs and stuff in it. We just make it flat and even, just let it set. It'll take about 2 days to 3 days. You can tell when you're trying to lift it up if that's set up and solid, where it doesn't try to liquidize and move out. You're ready to pull it out of the mold. And then wait for another day and then cut it up whatever size you want bars. Here you can see what I was talking about. As it kind of starts setting up, you can kind of come in and make designs in the top of it. This is about 2.5 hours after I put it in the mold. It's already got kind of a pudding consistency and allow you to do that. Thanks for coming along, guys, and tell you, do a little search. It's not, you got to do a little reading to figure out the right methods. And like I said, look up a soap calculator and figure out the oils that you want to use, and you can put those in there and they'll actually tell you the amounts that you need, water, lye, your oils or whatever, to come out with a soap. And try to make your own, because I'll tell you, this soap here is so much better than what you get in the store. It's better for you. This here is what you could call a vegan soap, because there's no animals in it. But if you wanted to use animal fat, there's a lot of the old timers actually would use wood ash and pig fat and cook it and make their own soap, which is a different process. This is what they call cold process, but they have what they call hot process. It takes a lot longer to do it that way. But it's still good for you, and it's just get your ingredients. And a lot of the ingredients you'll have in your kitchen because you're using it. The lye is the only thing that you probably won't have in there, but you can get that off of Amazon. That's where I get mine from. So, guys, do what you can where you are. This is what we're talking about, is making your own stuff. Like right now, we're getting ready to go into what could be a pretty good little storm. Most of across the United States has got lots of snow. There may be places that 2 to 3 to a week, they don't even get out. Well, if you don't have the stuff or ability to make stuff, then you don't have it. So you never know what's going to happen. Always be ready. Guys, I thank you. Reach down there and hit that subscribe button. Give us the big thumbs up. Share to your friends. There may be somebody that you know that's been thinking about making soap, and this might be a good thing for them to get started, and then they can start their journey and make their own soap. So we thank you, and take it easy, guys. Good night. Bye.